Matt Barnes joins us now. Matt, thank you for joining us. We are partners, obviously, with All the Smoke, and very proud of that partnership. How do you think that it went, Matt? I don't know. I don't know how self-critical you are. I don't know how confident you felt going into that situation. How do you feel like the whole thing went?
I think it went well, Dan. I think it was more of a conversation than an actual interview. I know people don't look to All the Smoke for political stories, political type of show. But, with this opportunity that presented itself, we weighed the pros and cons and just thought it would be a great opportunity to bring her into our world and sit down and have a real conversation with her. I mean, we touched on policy and different things, but at the end of the day, where we've been successful with All the Smoke is being able to make people feel comfortable enough to really open up and humanize them. And I think we were able to do that. And I hope that people learn more about the person. If you want to learn policy and hear her talk about how she's going to, with her plan or economic plan, there's other outlets for that. But that wasn't necessarily the goal when we put the plan together for this interview.
Were you nervous, Matt?
No, I thought it was just a great opportunity. You know what I mean? We prepped more than we normally prep. But I kind of felt like from a basketball standpoint, I was blessed every single night to guard the best players in the world. You know what I mean? So now I've crossed over into the media, and now I'm blessed to be able to interview some of the most special and entertaining and magical people in the world. So I just feel like this was a high-level conversation with a high-level person, and we hope that you got a chance to get to know her a little bit better.
How did it come to be?
A friend of mine, Chris Holliday, that I've known for a while, worked for the Obama administration. We do some business together. He told me at the end of last week, like, hey, I might be able to get you Kamala. Like, really? He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm gonna do my work. And I was just like, all right. I didn't know if it was gonna happen or not. Then 2 days later, he hits me and tells me, hey, this is on a Sunday, like, hey, we're doing it Tuesday. I'm like, oh, okay. So I tell obviously the All Smoke team, we book flights, get there Monday, interview Tuesday, and I was back in LA Tuesday night.
So how does this work, though, in terms of giving her topics in advance? Because I, for example, journalistically, I don't think I would be comfortable with that, and it allows her to orchestrate her answers. But you are obviously not interested in anything in the way of gotcha, and you're also in the relationship business because you want this podcast to have enduring access that respects people. So how did you feel, or did you wrestle at all with the idea of giving her topics in advance?
I think what we did, we gave her a skeleton and outline of the direction the conversation wanted to go. And then literally we're making up questions right up until, we left in the car to go see her. So I think obviously we gave her, I gave her my pitch on how we wanted to have a good time. We wanted her fans to we wanted her, the country to get a chance to just know her a little bit better as a person. We touched on a lot of similarities, a step parent, biracial, mental health, and at the end of the day, Dan, she is a lifelong Warrior fan that just happens to be running for a presidency. So there's a lot of other similarities that we touched on. So again, yeah, like you said, we're not necessarily a got you type situation, but it wasn't to the T, like what exactly you're going to ask. We gave her a blueprint on just the way we wanted it to go, and they okayed it, and we went with it.
Were you comfortable pressing her on anything like her office overseeing 1,900 marijuana convictions during her time as DA?
So we wanted to get into the weeds of stuff, but we only had 30 minutes. We ended up going, I think, 45 minutes. I did want to because I've done my research, and although there was over 1,900 convictions, only 45 people went to state prison. And it wasn't just black, it was all ethnicity. So, I think there's a lot of stigmas out there that make people think like, oh, she's a terrible person, she's done this, done that, but she put a lot of programs together to help people, to rehabilitate people after they get out for low-level marijuana offenses. And this administration has also pardoned over 6,000 people and encouraged other senators across the country to do more, governors to do more, and they pardoned, a couple 100,000 people behind this. So, I did want to get in the weeds, but also, Dan, knowing my fan base and understanding that stuff is interesting to me, but it may not be interesting to our core audience. So it was really a thin line, and Jack and I went back and forth on, hey, should we do this? Jack had his reasons and concerns. I had my, I was thinking, and we really went back back and forth really up until the day we left. So this wasn't a clear cut like, hey, this is a tremendous opportunity. Let's go jump on it. Like, a lot of thinking went into this because we know who we are and what we stand for. And sometimes people don't want to see those mix, although I don't mind them mixing. It's not about me. It's about our fans.
Now, Matt, I think you were in her residence. I'm not certain if you made it over to the White House. I'm not even certain where her residence is, but did you smoke? That's all I care about. Did you smoke in the White House?
I did not, unfortunately, get to smoke in the White House, but if she wins, I was invited back, and I may try to sneak something that I'm playing. I smoked before I went. You know what I mean? I pre-gamed as I was studying, as just like I was watching game film in the morning the day of the game. You know, I smoked as I was, going over my questions and, kind of summarizing the interview, and then I headed over.
Donald Trump next in the interest of equal opportunity?
I would definitely sit down with Trump. Obviously, I'd have to talk to the team and see what they think. But at the end of the day, it's about to get to know people better. And we fear or dislike what we don't know. You know what I mean? So these conversations that we are fortunate enough to have with Kamala and whoever else may continue to come across the board has never necessarily been centrally focused on their expertise. We've talked to the Will Smiths and the Kobe's, and we've touched on what they're great at. But our goal has always been, getting to know them better as people. So again, I think we definitely accomplished that with this interview, and we're thankful for the opportunity.
Let's get to some other things basketball related here. All the Smoke has a new book, All the Stars, All the Stories, No Apologies. All the stories, Matt?
The ones that are PG.
Mm-hmm. You got to save some stories for the second book, Matt. That's what you got to do. Right? So how do you play?
We got to kill this one, man. You only get one opportunity in this space, and we realize that. So, we're pushing the lines and trying to get our sales up. So, hopefully this will go well and gives us an opportunity to do another book.
The book comes out October 8th. You can pre-order it now. You got to tease people here, though, buddy. You got to sell it a little bit. Like, what? Give me something that's in there. Give me something that's in there that people haven't gotten from you guys before.
You can obviously get behind the scenes. There's 300 pages, but obviously, with some of our biggest guests and biggest interviews, some of just the stuff you may have missed or some of the stuff you didn't, you thought were amazing and you want to relive. We've had conversations and I don't say this arrogantly. I just feel like our guest list has been up there with any show. You know what I mean? So we have some amazing back and forth of some of the biggest stars in the world, and we just wanted to make that a memory and be able to share that, and what an honor to be the first podcast to get a coffee table book.
Matt, did the Knicks get better by acquiring Karl-Anthony Towns?
Ooh,
yeah, that got you going.
This is the question. I think it depends on what cat they get. I'm a huge fan of Cat, but I think as talented and as skilled as he is, he settles a lot, and I think we saw that in the playoffs last year. I think when he mixes it up, he's a 3-level scorer, pretty much unguardable at his position. I think when he's that cat, you stretch the floor, you have a high IQ guy that is, an all-star. So, but I also, like, you guys know me, I'm a dog type dude, and Julius Randle was a dog, and DiVincenzo was a dog. So, to be able to lose that type of energy on your team may take a hit. But at the end of the day, I love Cat's talents, and I hope that he embraces this opportunity. Obviously with the Bridges pickup too. The Knicks are really on paper starting to put a team together. So only time will tell if this trade was a good trade or not. But from the outside looking in, as much as I love Julius Randle, I do like this trade for the Knicks and Cat getting a fresh start in New York.
You're not a hater, but when you use the verb settles, because you're someone, as you say, who likes the dogs, do you associate settles with weakness when he's that size?
It's a good question. I wouldn't say weakness. I would just say, him trusting in his game so much that he shot that shot 1,000 times that he thinks every time he shoots it's going in. And, he's a self-proclaimed greatest big shooter ever. So that's something I do. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's around that 30, 38, 39, 40% from the three-point line. But at the end of the day, I just think with his talent, his ability to mix it up and not rely so heavily on the three is when he's at his best.
Can you give us someone, it doesn't have to be a name if you don't want to do that, but someone that you played against where you can sort of sense whatever it is that a dog senses when there's fear, or, that I'm saying not a human dog, I'm saying an actual dog can sense fear. When is it that you're playing and you can feel that someone doesn't really want a part of what it is that you're doing?
I mean, I tried to master that, and sometimes I went at that, and other times it wasn't effective. But you just want to make people work, physicality. But it was in an era where you can still be somewhat physical. But I hard fouled. You know what I mean? It wasn't dirty, it wasn't blatant. But if Cole hits 6 or 8 on me straight, the next one is going to be a hard foul. And I think guys that I was guarding knew that. Some guys, it may have worked in or deterred or stopped them from coming downhill. But at the end of the day, man, these guys are tremendously skilled. And again, my job night in, night out was to guard the best. So, I just had to be ready every single night for whatever was coming and try to match it with, attitude, energy, and heart.
Matt, are you in a rush to the airport because your driver is driving very fast? I'm guessing you have to be going at least 92 miles per hour, no?
No, and you never get to go that fast in LA. We're going 63. I'm actually headed to the Rich Eisen show right now. So,
oh, wow.
Do this on the move.
Joel Embiid has lost 25 to 30 pounds. Is that good or bad?
I think it's good. I think the knock on him has always been tremendously skilled, one of the most skilled bigs we've ever seen, but he doesn't put the work in the off season to work on his game and take care of his body as high as he should be. And again, that's just what I've heard. I've never witnessed it, so that's from the few people that have kind of when I inquire about him has been the knock on him. But if this is something that he put the work in the summer, obviously getting an Olympic gold medal as a part of the United States, I'm very excited about this team. About how Paul George will fit in and how Maxey takes that next step with back to having 2 other superstars next to him. So, Philly can be a very interesting team if they stay healthy. And I'm really overall just excited to get the season going. But, yeah, happy to hear that Joel lost that weight. Hopefully that'll take some pressure off his knees because I get scared every time I see him play. When he runs or falls, I'm just kind of like gritting my fist like, man, I hope he's okay. So, if he can take a little bit of weight off and make it a little easier on his body, I'm all for that.
2 more questions before we get you out of here. I don't think that you played with Dikembe Mutombo, but do you have any overheard stories or any favorite story regarding Dikembe Mutombo?
I grew up watching Mutombo and, saw him at the very end of his career when he was out and I was, trying to establish myself in, but obviously one of the greatest, shot blocker, rebound guys, defensive anchors we've ever seen, 4-time defensive player of the year. But what I will actually, I can't even tell that story.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Wait a minute. All the smoke, all the stars, all the stories, no apologies. It's a coffee table book. You got to give us the story. You can't do it that way, Matt. You can't do it that way.
Hold on. You have to answer this question from me. Is he married? Was he married when he passed?
Well, is it a Who Wants to Bleep Mutombo? Is that the story? Or you got to
it was just every time I saw Mutombo, he was always accompanied by some attractive people.
Yes.
Put it that
All right.
way.
We can put it that way. All right.
Yeah. So I want to keep it very respectful. But Mutombo, great guy on and off the court. Obviously a giant in this space and will definitely be missed. And it really hurts. I lost my mom to cancer, and what cancer has been doing to this country is terrible, man. So I'm wishing the best for everybody involved, and we will miss the big fella.
No, Mike, I'm not happy. I'm not happy.
You happy you did that?
No, I'm not happy. I did that. I didn't know. I thought it was something else. It was my fault. No, I'm not happy I did that. No, I'm not.
The body is still warm, man.
And I probably shouldn't even took it that far. But again,
it's my fault.
You started. You stopped.
You didn't want to. It's my fault. You shouldn't have done that, but I shouldn't have done that. Now
There's plenty of blame to go around, guys. All right.
We're finger pointing at each other. I'm accountable. It starts with me. Let me play this sound of Draymond Green and reporter, longtime columnist Scott Ostler of the San Francisco Chronicle. Let's play this sound for Matt.
People worry about you, fans. Maybe your teammates.
Why they worry about me? I am a successful black man in America doing incredibly well. What's the worry?
They worry about you.
There are way more people in this world to worry about than me. That's for sure.
But we're here now. So
We're all here. I don't think you should worry about me.
okay.
I'm doing pretty well. If you would have told me when I was 13 years old in Saginaw, Michigan, without a pot to piss in, that you'd be sitting here and somebody would say they're worried about you, I would have probably told them they were out of their mind. I think my mindset has helped us do some great things. It's pretty cool. So, it's all about how you spin it. I love how you try and spin it, but it ain't my spin to it, player.
So good.
What do you think? It's a good dismount. Calling someone a player at the end there is sarcastically wonderful and dismissive. Matt, what did you think of that?
I loved it. But also, I think I understand what he was trying to ask. He was obviously trying to ask, is this team going to be able to count on you? Or are you going to be able to be on the court? Are you going to keep your energy and your emotions in check? But I think the way he tried to label it was wrong. So I love the exchange. I thought it was great. Again, if the guy would have framed the question a little different, I'm sure he would have got a different answer. But if you want to go with Draymond, that's not a battle you're going to win most of the time.
Gonna let him go on that note. The interview with Kamala Harris is at All the Smoke Productions on YouTube. The coffee table book is All the Smoke, All the Stars, All the Stories, No Apologies. They've got a new vertical with Andre Ward. It's All the Smoke Fight. It's at ATS Fight on YouTube and Instagram. And they've got a live tour. You could get tickets for next Monday in New York City, next Wednesday in Philly at allthesmokeproductions.com/tour. And congratulations on the baby. I do not know how you're not exhausted. I do not know how you've got too much going on, sir. Good seeing you. Thank you for making the time.
Thanks, fellas. Have a good one.
Thank you, Matt.